big right-wing pundit who joined the liberal network, like where's a big right-wing pundit who joined the liberal network, like Anna Kasparian announcing she's leaving the left, you know what I mean? Or Dave Rubin.
I mean, listen, if you want to say that these are like the intellectual pillars of...
No, certainly not. I'm saying something's causing an emotional rift that makes people not want to be on the left anymore.
Well, I would suggest it's probably cash. I mean,
You think
like
Anna
you said,
Kasparian wanted money?
she said as much as far as I know in the past on TYT.
She said she would make more money by being not leftist?
I don't know if she said that. But I know that on her show on TYT they have she's complained about not making money. I don't know why she's
still on TYT. Like, aren't they going to lose members who are progressives?
I got to be honest with you. I don't really pay that much attention to like showbiz.
So I have no idea who this chucklehead is, but I feel as if I spoke with him before. Every single day, when you go on Twitter and you talk with random leftists, it's like you're talking to this guy. And what I mean by this is when you start engaging with people with various flags and paraphernalia in their bio and stuff, and whether you talk about politics or whether you talk about video games or anything that's like culturally divisive, you get the feeling that they believe they have the ultimate truth. And that the only reason other people are opposing to their truth is either because they're uneducated or they're just grifting. That the other people are just doing it for money. Like, for instance, people such as Groobs or The Quartering, they absolutely love woke games. In fact, it doesn't bother them at all. But the only reason they complain about it is because they must be grifting. Like they must actually just want the audience to throw them cash. And I think, like, the audience themselves also absolutely adore and love video games like Concord and Forspoken and all these other things, but they just throw cash to the Quartering because they're also grifting. And if you pressure these people enough, if you try to like analyze, like, okay, well, what do you think about this and that, and you dig deep enough, they eventually concede and they say they have no idea what they're talking about. But before that, they're extremely opinionated. Like, they are so certain of what they're saying, and they're still so certain about their position, that they absolutely cannot even fathom that there is any type of legitimate criticism. And the idea that, like, there's more money on the right is absolutely bewildering. Like, no way. If there was more money on the right, Hollywood would be right-wing. There are a lot more cash to be had if you're a leftist person. Like, for instance, if you're a right-winger, you actually have to worry about censorship as such. While if you're a left-wing person on Twitch, we got to see, that you can actually bring a terrorist, like Hassan Piker, that he brought an actual Houthi on his stream, and there was no censorship, no problem, nothing whatsoever. Like, you gotta push the boundaries incredibly hard. You gotta learn the intricate ways of being a cheeky little shit online and do it constantly to the point where you may eventually, like, get some level of punishment. But that's on the left, right? Meanwhile, on the right, you gotta be extremely careful with not just what you say, but how you phrase it, what the topics that you're talking about are, and even then, you can still get banned, right? So, like, even if, like, it's popular to be on the right and you get bigger audience and stuff, you constantly have to worry about the censorship, and you constantly have to worry about the advertisers. Like, there's almost nothing that a leftist can say now which will get advertisers to back out. But there's a lot of stuff that right-wingers can say. I suppose, like, things are changing a little bit with the Palestinian-Israel conflict, right? Like, if you take the wrong side there, like, the advertisers might pull out. But, like, if you're on the left, again, like, you can say pretty much anything you want, and you will still get money, you'll still get sponsorships, you'll still get all the deals. Like, you are brand safe pretty much on the left. So the idea that Anna Kasparian is leaving the left for the right in order to make cash, even if it was that she would leave the Young Turks, there is no fucking way that she would leave it to make more money. Now, if you actually look at the story of Anna Kasparian, she explained it very well, and it's very believable. It's the consequences of her actions have moved to her backyard. So, there are several things that happened last year and this year which have set her up on a path of discovery and on a journey. The first one was when the government told her that she needs to remove her gas stove. Like, she was upset that the government isn't, let me give you money so you can give us money or something like that. Like, there's a meme with her basically being upset that the government isn't doing enough for her to replace her gas stove. I think the electric car was a problem as well. She may have mentioned it. But one of the biggest things, like, there's two events which actually, I think, pushed her over the edge. The first one, she describes when she was walking her dog and sees a homeless person. And this is not something that she found weird or bizarre, because she finds homeless people all the time. But, like, this one seems to have attacked her. She doesn't go into a lot of details what happened, but she felt very unsafe, very insecure. And the fact that from that day forward, every single time she's walking the dog, that incident haunts her. So, like, that is one of the things, right? Like, the level of homelessness, the level of crime, the level of drugs, I guess. Like, these are left-leaning policies that stem from defund the police and open border and being easy on and soft on crime. Like, all these things are connected. So, I think, like, this is what upset her. But there's also another event where she describes how she read about a murder. I talked about this on the stream, but it's still shocking that it happened, right? Like, there's this person that was living in an apartment and apparently, like, murdered the landlord or something, and chopped off the person into several body parts. Like, there was so much blood in there that when the cops entered, they decided that that area is not sanitary for it to be livable anymore. Like, you can imagine just how grotesque the murder was. And the guy is let out without bail. And obviously Anna, just like any other normal person, is absolutely appalled by this. And she talks about it on the Young Turks. Now, this in itself probably isn't enough to get a person to switch from the left to the right. Because, you know, like, crime happens in every country. And I don't think there is a place on earth where you don't have grisly murders. But the justice system is kind of fucked if they're going to allow, like, these types of people to go back out in society. But no, I don't think, like, that is the reason that she got upset. Is the reaction to what she said, right? Like she had just legit criticisms over the justice system. Like, I don't think there's any type of individual or any country where they want psychopathic lunatics to walk on the streets. Like, if they're mentally ill, put them in a hospital. If they're criminals, lock them up. But whatever you do, separate them from the law-abiding citizens. And again, like, any normal and sane individual would agree with Anna. It's like, what we're doing. But then you have, like, leftists on YouTube, content creators, that were basically attacking her, saying that, no, like, you can't be tough on crime, because you're a leftist. I'm paraphrasing, but that was pretty much what it was about. And I think, like, that's what pushed her over the edge. It's like, well, hold on a little bit. I'm in an ideology filled with mentally deranged people. Like, what do you mean, don't be tough on crime? Like, we're not talking about someone that was smoking pot or that made a small traffic violation or, you know. No, it's like a mad lunatic with an axe. Like, you can make a slasher film based on his story. Fuck are you talking about? And to be fair, like, she didn't even leave the left, if you think about it. Like, she still votes for Kamala Harris. It's just like, I suppose she's now a little bit more critical of the left. Like she will come out when President Joe Biden calls people on the right garbage. She will come out and condemn that. It's like, okay. Right. But she still votes for Kamala Harris. So, like, technically she hasn't left the left. Although, like, in the future, maybe she can become right wing. I don't know. But to suggest that she's doing this for cash is absolutely bewildering. And it is, like, literally the smug mindset that I see on Twitter every single fucking day. Like, even I, as a right-winger, am critical of right-wing stuff, and I'm willing to change my mind, or I can say, yeah, you know, like, what these people are doing is absolutely ridiculous. Well, like, there are cases where I do think that people on the right are batshit insane with certain things. And I'm very outspoken. Like, people who follow me on Twitter, like, know about it. But it's like, okay, well, they may be crazy about those things, but, you know, the left is crazier. So if I have to pick and choose between two tribes, I'll choose this tribe, right? But on the left, you can't do that. Like on the left, if you're critical, they're like, no, you can't be critical and you get kicked out. So this is the situation where Anna is, and I don't think like she's leaving the left because she is looking for money or that she's looking for fame. No, I genuinely think when she says she left the left, she doesn't mean that she's not a leftist. She means that people are kicking her out. That's what she's talking about. Like, actual leftists cannot handle the fact that this is a woman that had certain trauma that comes from policies that she's reflecting on, and this is why she's critical. Because no one wants to live in places with big crime. No one wants to have, like, violent axemen on the street. No one wants to be inconvenienced by politicians and forced to remove their gas stove, right? Like, her criticisms aren't even that bizarre. But here we are. So, yeah, I just found this to be a little bit triggering. Because, like, I feel like I've debated this guy. I've debated him yesterday, I debated him the day before, and I'll probably debate him tomorrow again. It's like copycat individuals on Twitter. Like he is the avatar of these people. The same arguments, the exact same takes, the exact same mannerisms. It's just like, wow. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.